We were talking about one of the people in the Degree Free Launch program that is going through it. And one of the things that they honed in on was like a systems administrator, which is a wild thing for 17-year-old to go through and to think about. So for systems administrator, for those that don't know, basically in a nutshell, it's somebody that keeps up an instance or your company's version of a software. So think of a big company, think of Salesforce, HubSpot, ServiceNow, those types of things. Sysadmins, systems administrators, they keep up your company's version of that software. It was funny because we were talking about systems administrators and I was saying like, yes, is the training for system administrators useful? Absolutely. What I mean by the training is like Salesforce administrator certification, HubSpot administration certification, those types of things. Are those things useful? Absolutely. Knowing how to use the software and how to manipulate things within it is a crucial part of the job. The thing that really matters from that level, the thing that's going to be really, really helpful for that role, more helpful than the actual, this is what you do. This is how you move this thing from here to there. That's table stakes for the job. But what's going to be better, higher level is just understanding business at a high level. Literally just understanding how business operates. Because if you can understand how business operates, then you can make the insights of like, oh, well, I need to move this from here to there.
And if I do that, now people can see this piece of information, which is going to change the way they act, which is going to help them make more sales or save more money or save more time.
Yeah. So you have the what down and you have the why down, which is more important than the how. Then you just figure out how to do it. But you have the what down and you have the why down. If you can infer that from your own mind, especially as a quote entry-level person, you're going to move up the ladder really, really quickly.
Like lightning.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting that one 17-year-old's like, yeah, I think that sounds like a good job.
Well, of all the ones, it was a huge list and she narrowed it down to that one just stood out to her. It's a software specific systems admin. Of all the ones I gave her a very wide range and she just went, that is super interesting. And she had never heard of it before. That's the biggest thing, which kind of just leans into our vocational creativity and the launch program. What's more interesting is that the job she works now, she uses something that puts information into it and just didn't know that existed. And now she goes, oh, and there's somebody that controls that on the backside after I put that data in. And I said, yeah, and it could be you. And she was stoked on it.
That's the vocational creativity part, touching on what you were saying, expanding on what you were saying. The vocational creativity is so important. You know, when I first invented that system, that thing, that these words put together, I mean, I knew it was important, or at least I thought it was important, but I didn't realize how critical it was going to be to pretty much everything that we do and the problem that people have when trying to help their children and their young adults get into their first roles. Hey there, I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Degree Free podcast. At Degree Free, we want to help everyone thrive and succeed without needing a college degree. And the only way to truly reach everyone is with your help. If you're getting value out of this episode, or if this is your second, third, or fourth episode that you're tuning into, if you could just ship this to a friend, just click that one button and share it with someone in your contacts or on your stories. It would mean the world to us. And more importantly, gets our message out to more people who need help getting out of their current situation. If you could do that right now, that would mean a whole lot. But even job seekers and career changers, like how can you get a job that you don't know exists? The last thing that I wanted to say before we wrap my part up here is for those people that are listening to this and you're like, I've never used ChatGPT, I don't know what these tools are. How do I get started now? It's so difficult. It seems so huge. And then how do I help my child do this stuff as well? The tip is the same tip that I had in that episode, 14 tips to use ChatGPT in your job search. It is basically just to use these tools, to boot up these tools. All of them are free in some way or another. They usually just lock up their most powerful features and their most powerful models, but the other stuff is free. So you just go and boot it up and you use it every day. So once again, you can Google it. There's ChatGPT, there's Gemini, there's Claude. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of other ones, smaller ones. And then there are a bunch of different tools that use their APIs on the back end. Really just start using these every single day. What I did to get started, and it still to this day, is I just replaced Google with it. Whenever I had a query, whenever I had a search term that I needed, I would go to ChatGPT first. And while I don't always go to ChatGPT first anymore, because of the 2 weeks that I did that, where every single search I went to ChatGPT first, now I know, like, okay, when I'm searching something, this is the type of thing that I use ChatGPT for. This is the type of thing I use Google for. And then the way to do that is you can just download their apps and you just put ChatGPT onto your home row. It's right there. You don't forget. And you're just like, oh yeah, that's right.